On the island of Sodor, the engines are always kept busy with lots of jobs to do. Gordon pulls the express, Percy delivers the mail, and Thomas works on his branch line. They are always kept busy all day until their axles ache and the boilers bubbling, and then the rest of the next day to come. It was the end of another busy day on Sodor, and all the engines had just come back to the yards to rest their wheels. But then Diesel and Diesel 10 had suddenly showed up at the yards, while the other engines were fast asleep for the night. And then Diesel brought out his shrink ray that makes things very small. And then Diesel brought out his shrink ray that makes things very small. Wasn't sure if I said Diesel 10 there, but yeah, hey. So Diesel used his shrink on the sleeping engines, and then he and Diesel 10 rolled away. The next morning, all the engines felt rather strange to themselves. Then suddenly, Henry spotted something behind the others. It was Diesel and Diesel 10. They had suddenly shrunk small like Thomas and the other engines. But then Paxton arrived at the yard with an empty truck. This gave Thomas an idea of how he can deal with Diesel and Diesel 10 for their mean trick on him and the other engines. So Paxton reversed, and then he began to load the shrunken Diesel and Diesel 10 onto his empty truck, and when they were loaded, he took them away for good. And then Diesel's shrink ray powers had started to wear off, and then they all started to return back to normal size. And all the engines agreed with Gordon and Toby that no one should try or break into use the shrink ray. And all the engines agreed with Gordon and Toby that no one should try or break in to use the shrink ray on the other engines ever again, just to make sure that they are safe from being shrunk again. Later that day, Paxton was guarding the shrunken Diesel and Diesel 10 into the truck that they were loaded onto earlier. Later that day, Paxton was guarding the shrunken Diesel and Diesel 10 into the truck that they were loaded into earlier. Well, it serves them right to play the mean joke on the other engines at the yard, but I hope they won't play any more tricks on the other engines, don't you?